Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back. It's Travis here with JT Wealth. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the crazy price slump that we've seen in Bitcoin over the last couple of weeks and month. But more importantly, how you might be able to utilize this price dip to help your taxes. So let's get into it. Alright everybody, welcome back. Like I said, today's video is going to be mostly about Bitcoin and upfront and foremost how it can help you benefit your tax situation as a result of the current price slump. So if you've lost some money recently because of Bitcoin, this may actually be something you can recoup on some level. And of course, we're also going to be talking about what's taken place with Bitcoin and crypto as a whole recently as a result of the malware, viruses, and the oil company that was involved in that hack. I guess they were an oil pipeline company to be more specific, but you get the idea, right? So the things that have gone on as a result of that hack and the Fed's attempts and actual success to get some of that Bitcoin money back has brought a lot into question regarding the Fed's ability to regulate and go after Bitcoin. So that's being discussed greatly in the news lately. But before we get into all that, I do want to take a moment and thank everybody who watched and took the time out of their day to leave a positive comment in the video I put out yesterday. It was an awkward video for me to put out, but I felt it was necessary to give you guys an understanding and a justification, so to speak, as to why I was gone for a while, what was going on through my head, and how I got back to being really excited again about putting out videos for you guys. So like I said, thank you so much for watching that video and leaving the comments that you did. They meant a lot to me. I'm glad that the video was able to connect with some of you guys as well. Before we dive right into the first article of today's video, don't forget to check out the links in the description section down below if you're looking for a new brokerage account, or perhaps you want to join the Patreon group and have like-minded investment folks to talk to. All of those links are down below, and when you utilize them, they help out the channel. So we appreciate it when you guys use them, but no pressure, only do so if it's something that you're interested in. All right, so let's get right into it with today's first article. And this article came out of MoneyWise, and the title was Bitcoin Slump Opens the Door to a Tax Loophole Every Investor Needs to Know. And this article focuses on what's referred to as a wash sale. So what is a wash sale? Well, if you're a crypto investor down in the dumps, there's a strategy you can use that might take some of the sting out of those recent losses, and it's called a wash sale. It can help mitigate your losses by creating some pretty tasty tax savings. It could even be reason to increase your stake in crypto now that the prices are down. So how can a wash sale save you money? Well, cryptocurrencies aren't regulated as securities. In fact, the IRS actually taxes them as property. That means the rules that apply to typical stocks do not apply to crypto, and the rules around wash sales also don't apply. Now, a wash sale takes place when you sell your stocks for a loss, and then within 30 days, you acquire more of the same securities, either through an outright purchase, a taxable trade, or an option to buy. So the thing about that wash sale is if you then scoop up the same shares within a 30-day period, the IRS prevents you from using that loss to offset any potential capital gains you might have. With crypto, there's a lot more fun to be had. Your losses can be used to draw down or completely wipe out those capital gains taxes. You can also buy more of the same crypto asset and try to capitalize on a swift rebound without having to wait 30 days, which in crypto time is forever. So let's say your Bitcoin investment lost you $50,000 a few weeks back, but the gains from your stocks and mutual funds this year earned you $50,000. Your Bitcoin losses would offset the tax you would otherwise have to pay on your capital gains. So if you're one of those people who may have purchased Bitcoin around that $63,000 high we had a couple months back, or however long ago that was, and today you're sitting at around $33,000, that's a huge loss. You have the ability to sell out of Bitcoin today, theoretically, right? And this is not financial advice, this is not tax advice, this is just for information and entertainment purposes only. So remember to check with your actual tax advisor before applying any of this. But you could sell it, take that loss, use it to offset capital gains, wait a reasonable amount of time, but not quite 30 days, and buy right back into the asset. Check out the Investopedia page here to kind of get a better understanding of the key takeaways. And right on Investopedia, it says Bitcoin has been classified as an asset similar to property by the IRS and is taxed as such. So you do have to report Bitcoin transactions for tax purposes, but it's not an equity. It's not like a stock. And remember, if you're going to try to utilize this tactic, make sure you wait a fairly reasonable amount of time. You don't want the IRS to see it as a non-legitimate sale and repurchase for maybe the sole purpose of utilizing that tax benefit. So be smart about it. Consult with a tax advisor, but this is out there and it is there for you to utilize. Now, there's also additional savings that can exist in the event you maybe don't even have capital gains to offset. And on this Investopedia page, which is basically how to deduct stock losses from your tax bill, if you look all the way down at the bottom, if you don't have capital gains taxes to offset, or if you don't have capital gains to offset the capital loss, you can use a capital loss as an offset to ordinary income up to $3,000 per year. So if you've recently lost $3,000 in Bitcoin and you sell your Bitcoin, but you have no capital gains at all through your equities or your money market or bonds or whatever the case may be, if you made $50,000 this year, that tax loss as a result of Bitcoin means you now made $47,000. So I thought that was some really interesting, fun advice, fun information, sorry, not advice. But I wanted to put that out there for you guys just so you could have it in your back pocket, utilize it if you want to, talk to your tax advisor about it. If you're using TurboTax, just stop. They're not, I don't consider them real tax advisors, but get a real tax advisor, get an accountant, get something to that effect that can really help you work your way through the landmine of issues that you deal with when you're in tax season. But if you've watched the channel long enough, you should know that specifically where Bitcoin and, for me personally, Ethereum is concerned, I am a bull for both. So the market as it stands now, of course, isn't in the best straits, but I am still bullish on Bitcoin. And let's get into what is going on with Bitcoin now and where I see it going, where some of these analysts see it going in the future. So this article was put up yesterday on June 7th, and it said yesterday it was trading at about $35,000, down 44% from its peak. Today, of course, it's probably closer to 33,000 perhaps, last I checked. But crypto is mystifying to most people, and there's two things we know about it for sure. The first, it's already rebounded from multiple crashes. So when stuff like this happens, it's cyclical, guys. And the second, it has made people a lot of money. This bringing us, of course, to our second article, which came from Bloomberg. And that article is Bitcoin tumbles as analysts point to looming technical breakdown. And in the article, it says Bitcoin slumped to a 2-week low, with analysts pointing to a technical breakdown, as well as the recovery of the Colonial Pipeline Company's ransom as evidence that crypto is not beyond government control. So the largest token tumbled as much as 9.9% down to 31,000, though it recouped some of those losses to trade around 32 as of 2:31 p.m. this afternoon. And the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index fell as much as 15%, also pairing losses by mid-afternoon. All right, Bitcoin can't get a break, says Anthony Trenchev, managing partner and co-founder of Nexo, a crypto lender. But the big picture, what we're experiencing here is a tedious, drawn-out regulatory overhang which will continue to weigh on the Bitcoin price. Ultimately, it's a good story for the industry, and crypto needs the right sort of regulation. But for short-termists out there, it's probably best to look away. And the article goes on to say that the US recovered almost all of the Bitcoin that was involved in the hack against the Colonial Pipeline. However, the wording choice there is a little strange. In another article, I read that roughly 4.4 million was actually involved in the Bitcoin ransom, whereas only 2.3 million was recovered. So if I got maybe half of my money back, I wouldn't consider that almost all, but that's just splitting ends, I suppose. The issue for some of the short-termers and some of the people looking at Bitcoin as a decentralized monetary source is that they're worried that law enforcement now having the ability to go after Bitcoin through the means that they managed to utilize with the Colonial Pipeline and this hack makes them a little uneasy. Evidently, the feds were able to isolate and locate the digital wallet addresses utilized through the payment method. And then they were able to create an 8-page warrant that actually allowed them to go after those addresses and recoup the money. How they did that, I'm kind of uncertain. But this is money that, if you read the articles, it was held at least in part by overseas individuals, some of which in Russia. So it is certainly a far reach for the feds to go ahead and pursue that money and manage to actually get it back. So I'm a little uncertain on the details again, but this is the type of stuff that is causing a little bit of uncertainty on the part of the big fans of cryptocurrency and deregulation and kind of anti-government oversight ethos as a whole. On the flip side to that, if you ask me, the government is kind of the biggest enemy to Bitcoin, to cryptocurrency, right? So if the government were capable of mitigating issues like this that they feel are the largest threat as a source of income or a source of monetary use, then I feel like you're one step closer to mass appeal, to getting larger corporations involved, and to getting a more agreeable set of terms for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrencies to go mainstream. But aside from people's fears, let's look at what some of the analysts are saying about the technical levels of Bitcoin around that $30,000 mark. They say that one threshold is the $30,000, and that's a level the coin briefly touched last month during a brutal sell-off. But breaching that round number level could trigger another wave of selling given the lack of technical support between the $20,000 and $30,000 range. On the other hand, Bitcoin's relative strength index is signaling that the token is nearing the oversold level, indicating a possible reprieve. So between Elon Musk's comments about Bitcoin and their energy use, some harsh Chinese regulatory oversight, and now this issue with the feds, we've seen a lot of downward spiral going on with Bitcoin. Now, on the other hand, we're looking at countries like El Salvador who are considering utilizing Bitcoin as a actual legal tender for the country, which would make it almost their fiat. Unlike the last year and a half where stonks can only go up, right? No trajectory is just a straight line. So obviously we've seen some serious spikes followed by some serious drawbacks in Bitcoin, and this has been a trend that has gone on for years now. So I'm not shocked, I'm not surprised to see Bitcoin withdraw the way it has. I am, however, excited because I do still see it as a strong buying opportunity in the low 30s. If for whatever reason it breaks that $30,000 mark and goes below, that's an even better buying opportunity. These are not things that significantly concern me, as I do anticipate it recovering and finding some new highs, whether it's this year, next year, or the one thereafter. Alright guys, but that's pretty much it for today's video. So hopefully you found out something new about taxes that you can utilize in the event you've lost a little bit of money on Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, and then have a little bit of an idea on where the analysts and where I think Bitcoin is going in the future. And thank you so much for checking out the videos. We always appreciate it. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this recent scenario with the hack, with the feds getting involved, with the Bitcoin price drop. Where do you think Bitcoin is going in the near term? Where do you think it's going in the next 5 or 10 years? Let me know what you guys think, and if there's anything else you want to know about, send me a message. Let me see if I can answer it for you. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for checking out the channel, and as always, bottoms up.